Good morning, guys. Today we're going to study how to do listening. Then I'll upload this video to YouTube. Okay, so let's see. This is going to be a lecture, like one person speaking. So it means it's part 3 of the listening test, section 3. There are 10 questions. And usually in the IELTS test, they tell you like this. Now you have some time to look at questions 1 to 6, for example. But they will not tell it right now here. Because, I don't know, in this site, they don't do it. They just cut these moments out. So we're going to do the questions from 1 to 10 without any pauses. And I think we're entitled to take a look at these questions now. So let's see. What you do before you start listening, okay, when you have the pause in the exam. Let's see. So the title of the lecture is something, I don't know. I think like the topic is computer languages, so I think it's going to be something about computer languages. So why do we need to write it here in these spots? Because when we write something, then our brain thinks that this is like already our opinion, and then we hear from this audio, we hear that it's actually against our opinion, and then we should feel bad, and we're using this psychology here. Because if you just leave it open, then it's going to be like the new knowledge. But if I write it here, computer language, and then I hear something else, then I'll be disappointed. Okay, lecture, John Smith from the. You see, it's not like university, because they would say just John Smith from Harvard, for example. So it's like from the something, like the center of languages, let's say, whatever. Center of languages. Also, mind the spelling, very important. Okay, then it's gonna be about conference, like what? Yeah, 10, 11, 1 p.m. lunch, sea view restaurant on the what? On the shore. Okay, let's say the lift on the what? On the first floor, whatever we write here. Actually, it doesn't matter. Just our idea is to guess what's gonna be here. So between 2 and 5 something sometime, it's option T. I'd say 3. Okay, it's at 3 p.m. And informal reception, and where is it? Informal reception is gonna be in some lounge, whatever. I really don't know. I never heard this audio before. That's why I'm just guessing from the top of my head. Okay, 7 to 10 tickets are available. Let's say only the reception desk. The delegates will be charged, let's say 15. The restaurant is famous for its barbecue, because we don't know, right? We can guess. The trip on Saturday costs, let's do it like this. So it's going to be kind of harder. So let's see.
Morning everyone, and welcome to the second annual Wallabaloo Conference on Mastering Computer Languages. I hope you all had a good trip. Before we get underway with today's program, let me fill you in as to what's on tap for tomorrow, Sunday, February 19th. At 9 a.m, right here in the main hall, we'll be hearing a lecture from Dr. John Smith about computer as teacher. Professor Smith from the University of Melbourne is a world-class expert in the field of computer-assisted education, and his talk promises to be both stimulating and informative. Immediately afterwards, at 10:30, there will be a presentation of papers by various delegates. That, however, will take place in the garden room on the ground floor. If you don't yet know, the garden room is also called the ballroom, and will be gathering at the west end, the slightly raised area called level 2. Just look for the crowd. If you get lost, there are signs in the foyer. After all that thinking, talking and listening, I expect everyone will be a bit weary. So at 11:15, there will be a break for coffee, cookies and other light refreshments. These will be available at the aptly named refreshment stand, placed by the door back here in the main hall. Also, if you choose to skip the formal lunch, you can buy a packed lunch at the stand for a reasonable price. I strongly urge you, however, to join us at the formal lunch. That won't be till 1 o'clock sharp, so you have time to stroll about town a bit. We'll be eating at the Seaview restaurant. The restaurant is located right here in the hotel on the top floor. It's a good dozen flights of stairs, so I suggest you take the lift on the ground floor, eh? If you're not fond of fish, there's an all-you-can-eat barbecue available as well. They even offer wallaby meat. After lunch, we'll troop back downstairs to level 2 in the ballroom for the presentation of further papers, which will begin at 2 p.m. Please try to be on time. I know you'll be a bit tired after lunch, but the ballroom echoes so with people coming in late. Thank you in advance. Once we've heard the papers, we'll break for afternoon tea at 3:10 p.m. No need to walk. The manager of the refreshment stand has graciously agreed to have tea served in the ballroom. He's even promised us some special scones, baked from a recipe of his dear old Scottish grandmother. Then, tea being drunk and scones munched, we'll retire here to the main hall for some closing remarks and questions. So, by 5 o'clock, we should have the conference wrapped up. But the fun isn't over. This is Australia, mates. We'll be flocking to the hotel's own Palm Lounge on the east side of the foyer for an informal reception. You can relax, mingle with the other delegates, and let your hair down a bit. This will run from 5:10 to 6:10, though you're free to stay as long as you like. The lounge manager has informed me that for the duration of the actual reception, you can have all-you-can-drink beer for $20.
Okay, it's okay for now. And now like the second part of it. But you see, I guessed the launch correct, but I'm not sure about this word. I don't know what would spawn actually. Whatever. This was right. I know it. Ground floor, top floor. I know it too. University of Melbourne. And the first, I didn't hear it really. Computering teachers or something. Whatever. Really don't know. Okay, so now this second question, set of questions.
With purchase of an advance ticket. Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 17 to 20.
So now they're giving some time here.
Now listen and answer questions 17 to 20. And yes, tickets can be purchased from any conference organizer or at the front desk anytime between now and the start of the reception. I suggest you come by tomorrow evening to pick up the tickets, since the conference hall only holds 800 people. That way, you can also get your journey planned ahead of time and be sure not to miss this truly memorable conference. If you want cocktails, however, I'm sorry, you'll have to pay for those at the regular price. Oh my goodness! Speaking of paying, I see I forgot to tell you a couple of things. The first is about lunch. The charge for the lunch will be $15 for all you delegates. If you have guests with you, the cost is $25 for the general public and $6.50 for children under the age of 10. That's $15 each, not total for everyone. Another item is about the lunch menu. I very much urge you to try the fish. I mean, look at the restaurant's name, the Seaview. As the name suggests, it is a famous seafood restaurant. The chef is a Basque from Spain, and he really gets quite put out when people ignore his fish specialities for burgers or barbecue. If fish isn't your thing, though, try the steak. He makes an exquisite filet mignon topped with blue cheese and mushrooms. Finally, if you'd like to buy a ticket, you can have both lunch and unlimited beer for $35. I should have mentioned that earlier, but I am a bit forgetful. Maybe I should avoid the beer after the conference, eh? Well, I've said my bit. Are there any questions?
Maybe she shouldn't be drinking beer, right? Okay. So as I hear, this was correct. This was correct too because it's for a child and this for a guest. And famous for fish. And this trip I actually didn't really hear, but I think it's like this. 35 plus lunch. Okay, let's see. Let's see how much we got, and then let's see our mistakes. Okay, nice. We have 7 correct ones and 3 incorrect. Okay, let's see what we've done. Ah, palm, but it's not pawn. Okay, whatever. Computer is teacher. Ah, okay. See, and the last one is not C. It's something else. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Um, where's the audio? Yeah, whatever. Okay. So the title of the lecture is you'll be hearing a lecture from Dr. John Smith about computer as teacher. But you know, she just pronounced it just really quick. Yeah, like computer as teacher. Like this. Computer is like this, but it's not the word. So I just said computer teachers, but it's not good. Okay. University of Melbourne. Melbourne is a very hard name of the city. You see, it's like OURNE and E at the end. You see, so it's kind of hard to spell it if you don't know this word Melbourne. But it's a good city. I love it. That's why I know it. Okay, then top floor. Top floor was okay. The restaurant is located right here in the hotel on the top floor. Something and something ground floor. Yeah, so it's kind of easy. But see what's hard here that you see like this big gap of no questions, right? So since here till here we don't have anything, and here we have just 2 questions like together, and this is kind of hard. And here too, you see. So when we, for example, have some time so we are awaiting, right? So we are listening all of this in this big gap, and we are waiting for some answer to come up. Then we are kind of more concentrated. But when we hear the first one, then we start writing it, and then we hear the second one. See, and it's really hard if you don't write fast, then you can just skip it. Okay, then 310. It was really easy. Palm lunch. You see, they just pronounced just really fast again and didn't repeat anything, and that's why it was kind of hard to hear it here. Palm lunch. Then tickets are available. Okay, when they have this A, B, C, D, like multiple choice questions, then it's really hard because you know they will say everything here. They'll say every word, but your time is just to listen, just really carefully. Because firstly, they told us this. You see, the launch manager has informed me. Oh no, not this. Tickets can be purchased from any conference organizer. You see, any, and we see it anytime, and we're thinking maybe this one. At the front desk is the reception desk. You see, and it's also confusing. But here we hear from any conference organizer or at the front desk. So it's not only the reception desk or the front desk. You see, so it's not A. And there's nothing about tomorrow evening, but they say anytime between now and the start of the reception. So anytime before the reception. That's why it's correct. Next, the delegates will be charged. So yeah, it's kind of also confusing here. She said lunch is 15. If you have guests, it's 25. It's 650 for children. Yeah, so it's kind of hard to choose, but not so hard actually, just 15. The restaurant is famous for, and you see again they say all of this stuff. They say like yeah, sea view, seafood restaurant. So now we hear that it's famous for fish. Yeah, but they say fish specialties for burgers or barbecue. So we hear it like we hear this word barbecue, we hear the word specialty. So if we don't really hear that it was like seafood, maybe we should make a mistake here. We should have done mistake. Specialty barbecue, and then the steak. See? Okay. And the last question. The trip on Sunday costs how much? If you'd like to buy a ticket, you can have both lunch and the unlimited beer for 35 in total here. She never said anything about this here, so it's my mistake, really, because the lunch is here. It was before. I should have thought about it better. That's why I did like this. But actually, yeah, I thought it just 35. Yeah, it's all. All right. And also, it was Australian. You know, some words are pronounced like kind of weird here. All right, so this is how you do listening in the IELTS exam. I really think that you should be. Oh, by the way, here's the audio.
John Smith about computer as teacher. Professor Smith.
Is it computer is teacher? Computer is teacher. Yeah, okay. Like saying teachers is my fault really because it wasn't like this. It was just teacher. But computer is it's kind of hard. Here, then they say, okay.
From the University of King to the hotel's own Palm Lounge on the east side of the foyer for an informal reception. King to the hotel's own Palm Lounge on the east side of the foyer for an informal reception.
Okay, you see why I did like this.
You can relax, mingle with the other delegates, and let your hair down a bit. King to the hotel's own Palm Lounge on the east side of the foyer for an informal.
Yeah, so it's not like a palm lounge, but let's have palm lunch. So I heard like a small double here. That's what I did here. But okay, whatever. Whatever. It's a good result actually because you know, like in the test, you'll have like everything multiplied by 4, and then you'll have a higher score here. Not 6.5, but maybe like 7, whatever. Okay, that's all for today's recording.